What's going on YouTube? James here. Welcome back to James Talks Movies, where today I am going to be doing a review of the highly anticipated film that lots of people have been waiting for this whole year, Wicked for Good, which is of course a sequel to a movie that came out last year called Wicked, which is based off a Broadway production, a really famous Broadway show. And this is part two of that. They split it into two parts. Wicked, the first one that came out last year, being an adaptation of Act 1 of the stage musical, if you watch it on stage, and Wicked for Good being an adaptation of Part 2, Act 2, I should say. And going into this, I was kind of more worried, going into this one than I was the first one, mainly because, the second part of the stage show is my least favorite part of the musical. Overall, I kind of expressed this on my channel before, but I didn't really care for any of the stage show. I thought it was kind of rushed, kind of fan fiction-y, and just didn't really, immerse me in the world like it was supposed to. But generally, Act 2 definitely defined it as a stage show I didn't like. A disadvantage that it had was it was only an hour long, while as the first act had an hour and a half to kind of develop everything and do everything that it wanted to do. So it's kind of imbalanced in that way, should I say. And so I was kind of hoping and that they were gonna kind of expand upon that and kind of not kind of keep that rushed nature of it, because Act 2, the stuff that goes down in this movie, it's really important as for like the lore itself of Wicked and the Wizard of Oz even itself, the 1939 Wizard of Oz. And so I was excited, but also really nervous going into this. The reviews going into it, were saying it's not as good. Some saying it's even bad, kind of like some were saying about the stage show. So I was worried, and to get my thoughts out there, I think that this is actually really good. It evoked emotion out of me, and it at least gave me feelings, and just gave me a lot of joy and lots to think about. Unlike the stage show, especially the second part. I just think that for starters, John M. Chu did a really good job of, he does a really good job of putting his own stamp on everything, his own visual style, and his own unique flourish to give everything a new, fresh perspective and evoke, emotion out of you. He definitely knows how to do all of that. And also just like with the cinematography, it's beautiful. The music, like the score wise, I'll talk about the lyrics of the songs, in a little bit, but the score itself is really well done. Definitely, just like the first Wicked, has a lot of callbacks in its music, to the original 1939 Wizard of Oz, which I really enjoyed. There are some callbacks woven in to the 1939 Wizard of Oz and the first Wicked. So if you are a fan of those movies, you might get a kick out of the callbacks and the nostalgia factor of this movie because there's a little bit of that. And I think those moments were woven in pretty good. And of course, Ariana Grande, or should I say Ariana Grande Butera, I'm sorry, Butera, is that her last name? She changed her last name, for, since she's an actress now, a really good actress. She and, Cynthia Erivo do a really, really good job in this film. Just like you would expect. Their singing is on point. Like I said, I'll get to the music in a bit, but I don't think they have enough, as many moments to kind of shine and show their talent as singers, as much as they did in the first film. But they still, give me chills in some moments. Their acting is incredible. Ariana Grande, Brutetta is getting Oscar buzz for her performance. And I can definitely see why. I think she deserves to at least be nominated. And Jeff Goldblum does a really good job in here. He plays the wizard. You have Michelle Yeoh in here as Madame Marble. She does amazing. I don't know about both Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Yeoh in the singing departments, but they have very little singing to do. They don't really have big moments. So I think what they're given to sing are fine. Doesn't really ruin any of the aesthetic or anything like that. And yeah, so overall, those are just things that I really enjoyed about the movie. It gave us a unique perspective on events of the Wizard of Oz that we all love it to know, with a visual style that was really fun. The banter and the fun-loving nature between the chemistry of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are great. They're great on their own in their moments. They're off-screen and just the moments with both of them off-screen, if that makes sense. And there are more moments get kind of going through it. Lots of characters are kind of trying to figure out how to deal with the implications and their decisions of the first film, and it's really beautifully displayed. Now, what I do not really enjoy about this film is I feel like, just like the first film, I have issues with some of the side characters. Lots of them are not really developed the way I want. In the first film, we have Fiyero and we have Bach, and the characters of Fiyero and Bach kind of go through a love triangle romance plotting situation with Glinda and Elphaba. And it's kind of set up that way in the first film. There's not much to it. I felt like it was a little imbalanced in that way, but I thought we were gonna get more of that in this film, kind of just explaining more of the relationship of those characters and their relationships with other characters. But I feel like it's even more sidelined than the first film. The payoff of their characters doesn't really feel earned, which is kind of upsetting because there is a lot to them, what happens in this movie, and that could have been like explored and could have been a little bit more interesting. But just like the stage show, sadly, I don't think that the really interesting concepts really matched with the execution. The character of Nessa Rose, which is the gal in the wheelchair from the first film that is Elphaba's sister, she kind of has a bigger role, hypothetically, in this film. You don't get to see a lot of that. With Glinda, they try to give a backstory to Glinda to kind of make her feel a little bit more sympathetic, or us feel sympathetic towards her. And I don't think that quite works. It feels a little shallow and kind of just shoehorned in there. But overall, that's kind of what makes it not as good as the first. And because of that, because of all the things that I mentioned, the first 10 to 20 minutes of this film, maybe half an hour, is really rushed and just really kind of hard to get through. And because of that, you kind of wish that, just like the first Wicked, you got a longer runtime. This film is shorter than the first, but it still stuck the landing, I think, and it gave us a emotionally satisfying ending. Even if the songs, I forgot to mention, are not as good as the first, although there is For Good, the song, which is my favorite song in the stage show, and it's at the end, and by that ending, it did For Good justice, and the overall story justice, to give a emotionally satisfying ending. But anyways, guys, that is just what I think of Wicked For Good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about the film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you even going to see it? If you have seen it, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, so we can have a nice discussion in the comments. Also, if you're in the comments, let me know some movie suggestions you may have, like another musical, a old movie, a new movie that's coming out soon that you want me to review, so that maybe I can come on here and tell you my opinion if a movie is worth watching or not. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.